The journey of life. Each person's starting point in life is different in terms of time, environment, and place. Even twins born at the same time and raised in the same environment will not lead identical lives. Furthermore, even if two people start from the same point and journey together, their lives will not be identical until the very end. While the time and circumstances of our lives differ, what's important is that everyone eventually stands at a point where they confront the true starting point of life, beyond mere survival. This starting point varies for everyone. Some arrive early, some late, and others at just the right moment. The issue is that the direction we choose at this starting point impacts not only our own lives, but also those around us. For believers, there is not just the worldly starting point of self-awareness, but also the starting point of a life of faith. In reality, whether it's our journey in life or in faith, we are like travelers exploring unfamiliar lands. As such, having a trustworthy guide makes the journey much easier, preventing us from getting lost or wasting time. God desires to walk with us from the very beginning of our life and faith journeys. However, most people reject God's companionship, choosing to rely on their own strength, denying God, and seeking a life without Him. It's often only when they face great crises, trials, or illnesses that they acknowledge God's existence, seek His help, and find themselves standing at the starting point of faith. Because humans were created by God, we cannot live a complete life without Him, just as a fish cannot survive out of water. The purpose of human life is not simply to live comfortably, eat well, and survive for a long time. The greatest blessing in life is realizing our purpose through walking with God and fulfilling that purpose. While some may find purpose and satisfaction without God, such satisfaction is only temporary, limited to this life. The real issue is that human beings are spiritual in nature, and our life after death is far longer than the life we live now. Though some reject this truth and deny God, what if by any chance the physical world is not all there is? Even if there were only a 1 in a billion chance that a spiritual world exists, wouldn't it be wise to prepare for it? If it were me, I would carry an umbrella on a cloudy day just in case it rains. That would be the prudent choice. Our lives are determined by when we encounter God. It not only shapes the rest of our lives, but also determines our eternal happiness or sorrow after death. I realize now how incredibly blessed I was to have met God early in life. I came to know Him at the age of 19. At the time, I regretted the years I had spent denying Him. But as time passed, I became grateful that I met Him at the perfect time, just before taking my first steps into the world. In my view, life is too short to accomplish everything, yet too long to do nothing. Through this time on earth, we are given the opportunity to meet God. We must recognize how blessed it is to walk with Him, and understand that this world is not the end, but that meeting God is the true starting point of eternal life. As we age, we become more acutely aware that life is not as long as it seems. If our existence were limited to our physical lifespan, we would undoubtedly be overcome with emptiness and despair. The time given to us in this physical body is only temporary. Before we come into the world, we spend 9 months in our mother's womb preparing. Before going to school, we prepare at home, and before entering society, we prepare at school. Likewise, our life on this earth is a period of preparation to meet God and walk with Him before we begin our eternal life in His kingdom. At any moment in life, we may encounter the starting point of our eternal journey, but we may also reach the end of our earthly life. without ever realizing that such a starting point exists. I earnestly hope that everyone stands at the starting point of eternal life. Though they may not realize it, God has always spoken to them and desired to walk with them, even before they ever set foot in a church. This is why I became a pastor and why I testify to others about God, hoping that even one more person may stand at that eternal starting point. This is not just my desire, it is also the desire and joy of God. Therefore, stand at the true and eternal starting point of life. May you discover your life's purpose within it, and through walking with God, may you walk the blessed and joyous path of life forever.
구독, 좋아요, 알림 설정 해주세요. Subscribe, like, set notifications.